what's happening, Shanice? So we'll start this again. So I'll do it with a bit more. Hello, everyone. This is the Marvins World podcast, and we are with a remarkable woman. She is an entrepreneur. She is a fantastic dancer, an absolutely hilarious actress. She's a bodybuilder too. No, she's not that. She is, but she's an amazing dancer, amazing actor, and she needs to do some stand-up comedy because she has a unique gift.
Ah, one day I'll do stand up. I don't know how to do stand up, to be honest.
But you're doing it now. Yeah.
So, Marvin, you have a podcast. I love it.
By the way, that suggestion you gave me on that man, he is remarkable.
Which one?
The one with, I don't want to. Yes. My
Yeah,
God. So, yeah, I mean, I think I've got, but yeah, it's amazing. Like the people he meets and like the ideas and like, it's just so good. It's just boom.
I'm so glad you're listening to him. Yeah, really good for people who are solo entrepreneurs and business owners. Really like it's like school, but on a podcast. Tag Lewis House, School of Greatness. I recommend it, Marvin.
It's, I mean, it's better than the Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan may be the biggest podcast out there, and he does a few good episodes, but they're too long, and it's, yeah, I feel sometimes he wanders off a bit, whilst Louis is his a shorter, and yeah, it's definitely among the best out there.
Cool. Okay, since you're recording, should we just get right into it?
We'll get right into it. Yeah, all right, Shanice. So, for anyone who doesn't know you, like, tell us a bit how you met me, and like, tell us a bit about what you do, how you became a creative artist, and just like what made you an entrepreneur and an actress.
Basically, my life story.
Effectively, yes.
Hello everyone who is listening to Marvin's podcast. I am Shanice. I am from Singapore, and I met Marvin in Philip Collier School. We were in the same kind of first year class, and we worked together on a lot of like exercises and games, and we're just classmates. And the question is, how did I become an artist? Is it? Oh my gosh, that's like.
No, but what led you to becoming an entrepreneur and wanting to be an actress?
Right. I mean, I was in theater first. Here, I was. It really started late in my life, like 17 years old. I joined a semi-professional youth theater group, which was like an after-school sort of club, but they were really serious. And I love theater and I love dancing, but I never really thought I would pursue it professionally until I got into this school club, and then I met yeah, I mean, I just trained in dancing and doing shows like in a sort of semi-professional way. And then the story is so long, I'm trying to keep it short. um so I took this thing called theater studies and drama, which is an O-level. You have O-levels there, right? um it's an
Yes.
O-level subject, and I did flamenco for my like practical showcase, but I didn't know anyone who really taught flamenco, and I met my mentor Antonio Vargas. He is a very famous flamenco maestro here, and he runs a. Oh my god, my doorbell! Mom, sorry, so funny. Oh my gosh, I'm like doing an interview. I'm not gonna open the door. So yeah, I met a flamenco maestro. Yeah, someone is gonna open the door.
We can
Yeah,
stop it for a bit if you want, and you can.
no, it's okay. Hi. Oh no, I guess this is hilarious. Sorry, I'm in through because by internet, and so basically I'm just gonna wave because I know the Zoom call. Okay, so funny. I'm sorry. It is really like comedy. Okay, so seriously, I have to say that yes, I met Antonio Vargas, and then he basically invited me to join his flamenco dance theater company when I was 18, and then I started to work with them doing more professional shows. And I think learning from him and the company, I just really wanted to do more physical theater based work. So I just started from there, and then the entrepreneur thing came when I graduated from university. I didn't go to an art school. That's why I'm in Philip College School because I didn't go there. I have Asian parents, so like they're not into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they were paying my school fees, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go to a. I went to a liberal arts college, which gave me a lot of freedom to choose what I wanted to study, so I could work while I was studying in Singapore. And then when I graduated, it just came about when I think because we were the first batch, I went to Yale and US College. So that's Yale University in Singapore, which is a very
Hello, Mum. That's my mum.
interruption.
It's
I love it.
fine.
It's a hilarious episode. Anyway, I went to Yale University here, but Singaporeans maybe aren't so. I was the first batch and weren't so used to like the idea of people with a liberal arts degree, so we didn't get hired as much. And so my company came about because I wanted to put together sort of freelance artists as a collective to kind of help like the underserved community. And then I just decided that yeah, I wanted to do that along with I had just written a clown show for my final thesis thing, and I did it, and they really loved it. I received money to do that again. So I was working on restaging it, and I thought if I did a 9 to 5 job, I will never stage this again. So I kind of set up a company conveniently to do what I want to do, really, to chase my dream, restage the show. I did it. I finally did that last year, 2019. And I've been ever since. My company has been dedicated to helping individuals with illness and helping underserved communities through arts and wellness, really.
Ah,
So, I mean, there are a lot of details I missed out, but kind of the gist
so
of my
well,
life.
yeah, it's so a lot of the things that you wanted, you've always you've just stumbled across them, but now you're in a place where I'm happy, I'm doing what I want to do, and yeah,
Yeah, I mean, when you start out a business, I mean, I was like 22 years old and I didn't go to a business school, and um, yeah, and I didn't know. I was 23 years old, sorry. And I didn't go to a business school. I didn't know what it's like to run a business. And to be honest with you, I hated the idea of running a business because it just felt very administrative. I'm like an artist. Why would I do
yeah,
paper, right? But so that just really kind of daunted me for a while. And to be honest with you, I would say the first 2 years was the worst. The first 2 years because you're figuring it out. You don't really know, like especially when you're a new entrepreneur, nobody knows who you are, and you got to do a lot of like scouting around for jobs, build like making people know who you are, letting them believe in you and your vision. So the 2 years was the hardest. I think only in the last year or so, I think I found a good team. I found good like groundings, and like I think enjoy more being an entrepreneur, more of a solopreneur now because of the pandemic. But just enjoying just choosing what I want to do and building it up and being patient with it. I think that part was just taking time and learning about that.
and what would you say are the main bits of like running a business and like the key things to getting it to work? Because also when you're setting up a business, you also got to be aware if you've got a good idea as well, or in anything, you've got to be careful about who you let around you, who you trust and who you work with too. And then you got to think, yeah, what would you say are the foundations to setting up a good business?
Um, I think that's a good question. I mean, in my experience, and it's different from, I think it's different because I'm running an arts and wellness business. So my experience comes from that place, and I think you need a good team, but you won't find a good team until you try the working with the team, and just kind of having a good intuition and building that within you of who to trust and who not to trust. Yeah, I think the first year I made a lot of mistakes, and I really let in. I took in projects with people who maybe weren't so nice to me and really took me for granted. But I didn't know that until I went through that, and then I learned it. So I don't know how else can you learn it unless you become aware of it. And I think don't be afraid to fail, because a lot of why my business still survives is because I made a lot of mistakes and I learned fast from it. And I made sure I didn't repeat those mistakes again, and have a very clear vision of what you want to do. So when I first started, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to perform, I wanted to create, I wanted to do commercials for people because I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I can produce, I can direct, I can act, I can dance, I love it all. And so I wanted to do it all, but I think when you do too much, your brand gets diluted. So you want to be very focused about what you want to do. So, like, for example, I finally decided that I'll only do projects that are arts and wellness in my company, and anything else that is related to the arts but not really from a wellness perspective, like maybe more corporate jobs. I might not put that under my company, but I might do it as a freelancer or work with someone else who has that expertise. So just be very clear about your vision, your brand. I think working on yourself is like
Ah,
number one.
yes. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because if you're coming from a bad place, coming from a place of being very limited in your beliefs and like just not in a good place, not evolved, I think. It sounds so mean, but it's true. It's gonna affect your business, and it's gonna affect the things you attract to your business. So why the first 2 years I was in a bad place emotionally. I was just out of school. I was dealing with some personal struggles, and I could see that the things I was attracting, the clients were all very like, you know, not the best. And when I started to change, and started to work on myself, I would do things like meditate, exercise, um, like listen to a lot of podcasts like Lewis House, like really work on myself. I started to see the change happen on how when I changed my energy inside, I was also attracting a different kind of frequency, a different kind of vibe. So yeah, those are things that I think are basics of business. And actually a lot of your business is you, so you need to work on you before you start your business, because I think a business is an extension of you anyway.
So, and so you do, so as you said, you do a lot of fields in terms of creative. You're a good dancer. You're a good, like, you do singing. Well, I don't know if you do singing, but I know you do like, acting,
Yeah.
dancing. And what's which of those are you more focused on per se? Acting.
I wish I wish the answer was acting. I started off with a lot of theater, but to be honest, now a lot of my work is more with dance, and I think it's only because it's easier to train in dance by yourself, like you always train your body than acting where you need people. And I always felt more comfortable with using my body to express myself more than my voice or but now a lot of my work is I would say physical theater, but I've not been performing as much as I would like to, and that's because of the pandemic. Um, but I've been like doing a lot more teaching, and so this is just another manifestation of that, or creating content ideation for new ideas and stuff like that. So I don't really have. I have three focuses, and I love how it just disappeared. Three focuses. One is performing, and then the other one is creating content, and third one is arts education. So I kind of go in between all three. But anything else, I put it as another part of my life, and I'm not currently focusing on other things other than that.
Okay, cool. It's and what brought you to Philippe Gaulier? What made you go, I want to learn from a Frenchman that says very offensive things and offend.
Yeah, I mean, it was more personal than professional. Like, I didn't want to be a clown, and I still think I'm not like gonna be trying to be a professional clown or whatever. But I encountered Philippe Collier in summer, no, semester abroad program in NYU, where one of the teachers was his student, and I got introduced to leisure by him, and it really changed my perspective on theater. I remember that in the encounter, it was like 2-3 weeks with his name is Gregor, and I just remember going like, this is I want to do more of this kind of play-based work. And then I came back to Singapore, and I found Philippe has a dear student here who's become a teacher like Carlos. His name is Alvin. Shout out to Alvin Cham. Okay, so um, at that time I was writing a clown show, and my advisor linked me up with Alvin, and Alvin taught a few leisure classes in my university, and I organized and attended them all, and I found that within that I just felt like I in Singapore, I don't know how it is in London, but I think a lot of us just kind of go through life like a robot.
Oh,
Like we're told like, you need a certain job to do well, and
yeah.
it's young, right? So you like so we kind of like I feel are dead inside. To be honest, that's really like the case, and I became one of those people too, and we all wear a lot of masks on how like we act in real life. And I think like showing your truest self is not something that I personally have been taught. Like just be yourself. I don't remember being taught that in school or even at home. Or even if it was taught at home, I think it was hard to be that way because society wasn't like that. So at least when I was growing up, I think life is changing a little bit here. But
Yeah.
when I kind of went through his class, I just became like myself. I felt like I could laugh. I was very crazy, like the person that you see in Golia. Like I'm not like that at home. So even me like discovering that about myself was just like incredible. And so I graduated university, and I had been in contact with Alvin. He's a very good friend now. And I was doing my clown show again. I wanted to restage it, so I asked Alvin to direct it. And in that process, Golia came to Singapore, and he did it for 2 years. So I went to attend Golia's workshop for 2 years. I think we did um, Molière and mask play here, the first one, and then second one was clown. And in both workshops, I could feel like, cause I was surrounded by Singaporeans, right? And we're all like with this mindset of we need to do well and we need to be like really good and we need to impress the teacher. I felt myself like close up in the class, and it wasn't like in Elvin's class where I was like fully open. So I think I felt really depressed after each scholar class. Like I will walk home and I'll just be like super depressed. Like I'm like, how did I reach this stage where I can't even play? Like I literally like I will walk to the MRT, the train station. We call it MRT here. And I would just be like so depressed. And I'm like, I can't believe I've lost my sense of play, whatever. And then I think the second time Golia came in clown, I just was very like tight, and I knew this wasn't who I was, and it was just the environment made me feel this way. So I made a decision to go to Collier, because I knew if I went to France and am surrounded by different kinds of people from all over the world and away from my work, away from my home, I'll be able to get there. I knew it in my heart. So I saved money and then I went to Goliath. And I feel like I have opened up. I mean, just seeing like how I was in Buffon class, and like that was the last time we were in Goliath together, so that's my benchmark. And I really felt like I finally reached this place where I felt, oh wow, I'm really funny or I'm really crazy, and like, oh, I can't believe I like was so closed up. And even Goliath, actually, before we left that last autocore session, he did tell me like, oh, your character is really good, not bad. And it was the first time I think he affirmed me, and he's someone who's seen me for many years like come. So I was like, yeah.
He no, look, you need to stop putting yourself down. That bit where you what's that bit with that blonde Sophie, when you were playing some role and you were saying, "Oh, I love you," and because I'm Asian, it's forbidden love. That was one of the funniest things I saw in that school. My God, you Takuma, I like Susanna. Who else was really sort of amazing? Like Andre. Bloody hell, you guys are so bloody talented, and Francesca, you don't, and Veronica, like you guys don't know how good you guys are, and you're so humble. I don't know how you guys do it, being that good and not how you don't how you able to keep yourself in check.
I don't know how to respond to that. I mean, it's new for me as well. Like I didn't know all these things about myself. And it comes out like impulses, right? So I don't plan any of those moments to happen. But it's exactly what is being taught at Philip Collier. So if you want to learn about impulses, go sign up at Philip Collier website. I'm just promoting.
But yeah, it was yeah, it's strange that they were all sort of finished up like that. I didn't expect it, and
And we were cooking a meal before everything happened.
yeah, I mean, I'm not the best chef, but it was a nice meal. We all had some fun. Like
And
we had a nice.
it's so weird. I always think about that night because it's like we for the listeners, before we got kicked out of Philip Goliath school because of the pandemic, not because we are shit students. We were cooking an Asian meal for our friends, and I just remember like I came home, I was happy, like it was a great meal, and then I received on my phone that my airlines had been cancelled because of the pandemic, and that's when like it was just crazy. It was a crazy weekend. I left on Sunday afternoon that weekend, and I left in a rush, and I left my things there before I came.
And for the viewers back home, what happened was she had to leave the stuff with a good friend of ours, Takuma. And I don't know, is he still there now?
Yeah, he is still there. Takuma is my Japanese friend. I gave him all my food. I literally went grocery shopping for another week's worth of food on Saturday, and then Sunday when Michiko, who is the person in charge of the school, told us we had to kind of leave, no more school. I just kind of gave him like everything in my fridge. And I left, I had 3 hours to leave. So he's still there, and my things hopefully are going to be passed to another good friend of mine, Abigail, who has a house there, and I hope to retrieve them because my mother's rice cooker is still there.
So who's still there? So Abigail's there, Takuma's there. I know that Liv and what's it called? Ellen are there, Veronica and Sonia.
I have no idea who is there actually. I
It's
only
a,
know Abigail.
it's a big lot, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's funny with the school as well. Like in the how it works is like in the beginning, everyone's all like close friends and this and that, and then as things go along, people start getting to their cliques and they start doing this and that, and then yeah, I don't know. It's funny, isn't it? The mix of the school is strange. Like me, you, maybe Joel, and maybe three or four other Takuma and Michiko. You know, we're probably there's like a handful of non-white people in the school.
Yes. And to be honest, I think being from another country and not being, the same race as like most of my friends, is something that I played a lot to my advantage,
Yeah,
because I was, yeah, and I couldn't do that here, obviously. So I guess, yeah, but I think the diversity um, really helped, and I really learned a lot from my friends. Culturally also, I had a lot of weird habits, and my friends, so,
oh yes.
and them, but
Well, you,
yeah.
yeah, it was funny. What's it called here in the story? Like you and like Beth and all of them were talking, and then you said you and Takuma, like you would go to Cafe Jew, and then you would see this. You go, oh, what's going on here? What's going on here?
I mean, we come from a very Asian conservative culture. So in France, I mean, everyone is, getting intimate and everything. And the first time, of course, I was like, wow, they do that in like public, it was really like a first day for us. And of course, now I'm like, of course, we are used to it, and we're like, okay. But the first time I remember Takuma, I was like, what?
But to everyone looking back home, what goes on in Philip Gaudier is we're in a little Buddhist retreat, and people get close together.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah. It's yeah, I do miss it, and I do sort of not miss it in a way as well. But hey, it's one of those things. It's
What do you not miss about it?
oh God, you're gonna not like me if I say the truth.
I don't know. It's your show, but okay, you
It
don't
is
have that.
fine. I'll say my show. I'll say it, and let's see. No, I don't. I feel I don't mind the school. I don't like. I really would have loved to finish the third term because there's a lot I could have learned, but and there's definitely a lot I could. Yeah. I feel. Yeah, I feel I could have. I don't know. I feel that I've, I've. I wish my relationship with Philippe and Carlo and Michiko was a bit better. I feel I've made a few mistakes with them, and I feel as a whole, this now that I look back in it, I've made a few mistakes in the school, and I feel socially wise, and I feel that as a whole, yeah, I don't know. I feel that I don't fit in the school. I feel that my character doesn't fit in well with a lot of the people there, and that's it. I feel like
Okay.
the way I think and the way people are in the school is a bit different. A lot, not everyone, but there's a big, like, there's a bit of, yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, I mean that's great that you're like, reflecting on these things. Yeah, I
And
mean, yeah. Okay, I don't really have anything else to say, but oh, that's great that you think about.
no, what's it called? It's a good time to sort of reflect on a few things. I remember sometimes in the school I was a bit too honest, and I'd say something, and then someone would get very upset about it, and then ooh, it'd go down. What's it called? The other boom, boom, boom. But now I realise that you can't be too honest sometimes. That's one thing I learned. from the school.
Going back.
Yeah, I will go back. But let's see what it's going to be interesting, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people that aren't there and a lot of people that will be there, and there'll be new people there as well. So it's a bit of. And how is Philippe going to manage the school? Because in the second year and the first year, there's 80 people, right? And there's 2 classes. But now he's got another lot coming in from the new year coming up. So how is he going to manage that many people?
I have no idea, and I don't even know if I'm more worried that this stupid virus is still gonna be around.
Yeah, that's true as well. And, I hope Philippe survives it, because, with people going in the school, going this way, how are they not going to transmit the thing to him? He always does that kiss in the cheek thing. And how is he not going to get it? If we were traveling across the world, 80 people, they're all in one corner. They have to get costumes, travel to get it. And yeah, how's it not going to work like that? It's just, I don't know what to make. It's just the way it is. I tell you what, I do miss the dog from Goliath. The dog you were scared of in Anita's house, Wingo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, to everyone back home, like Shanice is like, if you get a dog on me, I'm gonna run away.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't raised around dogs, so of course I'm gonna be like, what? I don't know how to react. I mean, I wasn't like screaming. I was just like, can you please stay over there? I don't know what to do with you. Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, it's been so. Yeah, it's been interesting. But I need to get you up on doing a stand-up gig. I'd love to get you on and like.
No idea how to do stand-up, Marvin.
Just get up! Come on, you're funny. You're hilarious. You just.
I tried to write one, but I just like got lost after 2 sentences. I was like,
I'll tell you what, Shanice. I'll give you a link to the Angel Comedy Writing Workshop. I'll give you some links to the list of gigs I'm doing, and then shall we make a pact? What? Because I want to get you to go and do a gig. What?
I'll think about it. I honestly I'm not doing any gigs at the moment because I'm in the middle of restructuring my company. So I will think about it, and yeah, I'll let you
Another
know.
word for no.
I'm not like closed off to it, but I guess I don't want to feel pressured to do a gig at the moment. Yeah, I want to have time to explore comedy and what, like I don't want to feel pressured to do a gig at the moment. Yeah.
You gotta do it now.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of pressure in life already, so don't add on to it, Marvin.
All right. It's
I'll do stand up when I want.
What? No. No, it's what's it called? The one thing that I definitely want to try and understand from the Philip Gurley is the fixed point thing and rhythm. That's something I never sort of quite understood, and I've just didn't understand it at all when I was doing the plays or doing this and that, and I just still couldn't get it now, and it's.
Yeah, you move too much. Well, if it helps, just try playing freeze with yourself. It helps. Yeah.
It's interesting, and it was funny when we did that comedy show. My God, like one time and then boom, it's all finished. And when you went to watch the show on a Friday.
Oh, I love that. I actually wanted to, because my boyfriend was supposed to come to France, and I wanted him to watch one of those. Like I told him, oh, when you come, we've got to watch Marvin's comedy show at this cafe. I'm sure he'll be doing more. And he was like, yeah, sure. And then bam, coronavirus. But we would love to go if let's say we go back to school, and if he comes, and like, yeah.
One thing I want to ask, there's 2 questions I want to ask, and this is not to pry, but You know about 4 or 5 languages, is that right?
No. I know one well, and I know 4 or 5 like shit. And so English is my primary language. I know a little bit of Tamil because I am part Indian, and I studied that in school, and my grandparents taught me in that. But I never reply in Tamil. I just reply in English. And I know a little bit of Chinese. I know really, I'm quite proficient in Spanish because I took Spanish and I lived there, and I lived in Spain for a while, and I worked there, and I had to do a show there. I had to, take class in Spanish. So my Spanish is really good. Um, yeah, and I speak Malay in Korea, but that's only because my national language in Singapore is Malay. But actually, I'm only saying like very basic words that any Singaporean will be able to repeat, but I don't speak Malay. So yeah, it feels like I speak many languages, but to be honest, I'm just kind of throwing in all the words I know in one language, and then because you guys are all like not really natives of the language, you think that I'm super proficient, and then I get away with that.
And what's it? Oh, okay. Well, no, but you still know. I mean, as Muhammad Ali said, English people don't even know English. Like with Africans, they know French, they know this, and what's it called? With your boyfriend, this is not to be pride, but where's he from? Is he a mix as well? Because I get the feeling that Malaysia and Singapore are quite sort of mixed between 2 or 3 races as a whole. Is that right?
Okay, yeah, but Singapore is not Malaysia, right?
No, but I know that's part in some respects. Some of it's similar.
Yeah.
Some of
Okay, but I have to state clearly for all your viewers, I'm very like patriotic about it. Singapore is an island away from Malaysia. I'm sorry, Malaysia, we're not part of you. But yes, my boyfriend is a mixed race as well. He is mixed Chinese and Indonesian, Chinese and Malay. But he's like me, he speaks like English really well. We speak in English, but he only speaks like he knows a bit of in Bahasa Indonesia and Chinese. So yeah, I guess like Singaporeans, I mean not just me and my boyfriend, but a lot of people speak many languages. Like my mom speaks like a few languages as well, and my dad as well. So it's quite normal to do like to know more than one language, at least two, I think, for most Singaporean. And we just code switch whenever.
Okay. Yes. So I think this is what I said here just as misconstrued. I'm basically coming across as someone that if you go to England, like someone's rough and they're like, yo, 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 yeah, you look like this, yeah, so you come from this country, yeah. Like you, this is so I don't. You don't even understand what I'm saying, do you?
No, what do
But
you
when you
say?
no, because you said I wasn't saying that Malaysia or Singapore are
Oh,
the
no,
same. I'm
no,
just saying.
it's just a joke.
Okay, 'cause I think that's
I,
how it came
I'm not
across.
mean. No, because I just wanted to take the opportunity to educate whoever was listening. I know there's a difference because Hanan, who is Malaysian, and me, who's Singaporean. But
Yeah, very
some
different.
listeners don't know, so I gotta educate. So I'm gonna using that opportunity to educate.
What would be funny at the moment? I'm getting maybe I've had about 30 views on the Acasting of different this and that, but on the YouTube bit I've had quite a few views. In the YouTube bit I've had a few more views, but on like the smaller ones I haven't really had any. But I'll be funny if
Where is this being shown?
well look for Marvin's World. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes.
And people are watching me right now?
No, 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 no. But they'll listen to it once I record it.
All right,
Uh,
right. Okay.
and sometimes what I do with the videos, if I think there's like a life lesson or something interesting, I'll take a short bit from it and I say, this is it. You can learn from it. If you want to know more,
I'm like Googling this right now.
you go with Marvin's World. Ha, 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 ha. You know what? I've probably spoke to more Golia students than I have of anything else on this podcast. I think I've interviewed about 4 or 5. I interviewed one woman who's Maria Dubek. She did some sort of self-help thing. I did one who does art things, and I've interviewed other comedy promoters. I interviewed a psychic, and she says that things are going to be better in 2024.
What? So long? Oh my god.
But I don't know. She may be wrong. Hopefully she's wrong. But yeah, it's fun doing a podcast. It's you never know what's going to happen. I don't know what someone's going to say. It's unpredictable and it's uncontrolled, which I like. That's why I like stand up. What's it called? Yeah, I definitely want to go to Singapore at some point. Definitely, it'll be fun to visit. Do you have any questions you want to ask me, Shanice?
Not really. What are you working on now, though, other than the podcast?
I'm doing a few gigs online, so I'm working on material, and I'm running my hecklers show and improv shows, which are fun. I'm probably going to do a gig on Monday in London Bridge outside. Looks quite fun. I'm going to try and, I think for the meantime, once I get some admin-based stuff out of the way, I'm going to focus a lot on the jobs, because then once I can get some more money coming in, I can start investing on better equipment for the podcast. At the moment, all I got is this as my microphone.
Okay. How come your microphone is so far away from your mouth?
I don't know. Hello?
Is it even plugged in, Marvin?
It is plugged in.
You know what? I wouldn't do stand-up alone, but if you ever want to do a gig where it's just you and me talking, which is really funny, I'm happy to do it. And I don't feel pressured to prepare anything. I just have to respond to you.
Oh, that was a bit, yeah, I don't know what I was saying with the last time me, you and Samantha were on stage. We did some poem and I was just saying some silly things like, Marvin, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that sort of thing at the moment, if you want to. Because I think people find us very funny. I don't know, when we talk
What's
to
been said? Yeah, we do work quite well together. It is quite funny. And
yeah. It's like you can prepare all the script for yourself and then you talk to me and then I just reply you.
Okay, so the script is going to be, I'm a deer in a park. I'm going to do some dancing and you're going to be the warden.
Oh, what? No, you just talk. I
want to show you something. Can I show you something quickly? I want to see what you think.
Are we still talking? Is this still recording? What's happening, Marvin?
Yes, it is. But I want to show you something.
Okay. For the listeners, Marvin has taken a short commercial break and he is going to show me his Facebook. What? Oh, right, okay.
So what did you think of that improv show that I showed you?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was like, I honestly, it's just the time zones that were like, found it really hard to catch shows that you were doing. But I think it's great. You have a branding that you have already. You have sort of like a sort of visual vibe, sort of themes. Yeah, I saw this.
There's a real funny bit here. So how this show works is, I've forgotten what I wanted to say to you now, but I'll remember in a second. So well, I told you what it's about, didn't I? Like you choose the topics and then they improvise on it and then he did this topic 2 minutes on that, he improvised on it, porn magazine in the 60s, and then they did an improv troupe on it. You see all of it?
No, I only watched a little bit.
From here in the 1960s, the liberated 1960s, where we're not ashamed of our hair. We put it on display, and people will be titillated by the excessive follicles in and around my head area. Do you have any thoughts?
I want to show in 60 they have pubic hair in their body.
It's hilarious. I've been seeing her on your feed.
We are talking to beauty shop.
She is amazing, isn't she?
Don't have pubic hair anymore because they
So-
go for Brazilian with
Well, I'll stop it now. But what do you, so they did it? What do you? I've forgotten what I wanted to say from it. Yeah, I was saying we'll do that show. We'll do a scene.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. I'm trying to
No,
see Instagram live. I don't know how to do this. Living with Marvin.
Oh
Okay.
God. Yeah.
Oh, my connection is not that great. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
yeah, it crashed.
This is going to
Okay.
go on a podcast, by the way. No.
My
So,
Instagram live crashed. So, it didn't happen. I don't know how people do it.
not yet. You don't know it yet. Can I?
Oh, yes, I'm on Instagram live. Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
right.
I'm talking to my dear friend Marvin from Philippe Gaulier, and we're having the most like interesting conversation. So Marvin, yes, you can keep going. I always tell my friends about Marvin, my friend from school. I wish people met you in real life. So all we have to do is just do a live.
Okay. Hello, Shanice's friend, and it's yo. What's going on? Jeez, no. So Shanice, one thing I want to ask you, what do you think is so you did that lovely tropical arts sort of club, and that was fantastic. I thought that was a great idea, like getting the people to share their work around the world, doing these little videos. And what made you decide like you wanted to share people's stuff?
I think with the pandemic, I just felt like okay, this live is really distracting. Hello everyone, I'm talking to Marvin, my friend from Philippe Gaulier. I think with the pandemic, I guess a lot of the artists lost their jobs, and I think I wanted to be able to just kind of show solidarity along with my co-host, John. And yeah, it was a successful project, I would say, because we did about a month worth, about almost 50 artists sharing from all over the world. So it was good, and I'm really glad that we actually did it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was I liked how you made it so simple, like to edit, and it had a lot of pizzazz on it.
Yes.
Very...
My friend John is a very good editor, and he's just an amazing creative. So we work really well together. Yeah.
To be honest, Shanice, now that you've put it on Instagram Live, it feels like I'm in Big Brother or something, and I have to put on some sort of weird performance to do like some sort of prank video. And there's gonna be someone popping out in a minute, like you're gonna get some sort of Spider-Man or something.
Very distracting, and this has failed. Thank you on my live people tuning in, but I don't know how people do this on live. I don't have anyone watching right now, so it's so lame. Okay, so I'm gonna end it. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yes.
One
Okay.
thing, I think one thing. So we are talking about a lot of things, and I feel that we're
Yeah, it's late night.
One thing, so when you're in sort of France and from Singapore, what have you found to be characteristics from all the places you visited? What would you say are the characteristics that everyone shares? And what would you say are characteristics that have been different from each of your experiences from traveling to different countries and performing with different people?
Wow. So deep your question, Marvin. You thought a lot
Yeah.
about. Very good. A star. I think I noticed that people all around the world want the same things, which is to be accepted, to be seen, and to be heard. Um, and maybe we walk into different countries with different cultures, so some are more open to expressing that, and some aren't. But I noticed that, and to be honest, France scares me, like because I don't speak French, and then I've had certain incidences in France where people have been very like rude to me and stuff like that, which is a very typical French stereotype. And I always thought like, oh no, French people, I'm like scared. But I actually made really, really good friends with French people who are dancers that we really connected, and they've been so nice to me. Like I literally have a group of French aunties who I take reggaeton class with every weekend, and they're so nice to me, and they never once told me like, oh, we expect you to speak French, you know. So there are like different types of people in every city, and it's just finding like good ones who see you for who you are, who accept you for who you are, and just yeah, I think the differences is mostly I mean, I've also worked in very poor countries like Cambodia, Kenya, and I've also worked in very rich countries like Europe. And I'm from Singapore, which is a very well-to-do city. And I think the differences are really like, I see that in government, really like there are some governments that really want to help the people, and there's some who don't. And some countries are blessed with uh, economic wealth, and that really benefits the arts and benefits people, and there are some that are not. And I think I just learned over the years not to bring my own cultural um, understandings or backgrounds of being raised in a certain way to these different places, because it would not allow me to adapt to the place. And for me, like as a Singaporean, I think I'm like, I guess also being in London, right? Like we're exposed to people from all places of the world, so it's not like I'm like completely like new to certain cultures or whatever. But I guess it's just learning how to adapt, and then understanding, okay, I was raised a certain way, and which things that I want to still hold on to the way I live my life, and which things I want to be more open and learn, and put that into my life. Yeah, like I was living in Spain, and the abuela I lived with, she liked to hug and do kisses, which we don't do here. So obviously I was like, oh, what is she doing? It's so awkward, like germs. But then I just got used to it, and then I understood it's a way of expressing affection. And so it's just about being able to be more like flexible lah.
Okay, and so there's two ideas that I've just come across right now, and I want to see your opinion. So one of the things that I found that can be an issue with any sort of theatre project, and one thing that I think in the school as well, it's mostly theatre or acting. The thing is, there is issues with working with different types of people. And one of the things I found, and I did a bit of research on it, so there's sort of two types of people. There's people that will sort of be easygoing and are willing to take risks and do different things, but there'll be others that are very sort of stiff and very perfect, and they want to perfect every other bit. And I did a bit of research on that, and they said that the way to get people to work best together is they have to compromise, and you have to sort of mediate between those two people and find a way of getting them to meet halfway. And I think one of the things that I found sometimes when working with Philip Gurley from my side and other people as well is none of them were willing to. We didn't sort of wanting to meet halfway enough, and we didn't listen. We would say, "You're wrong. This is wrong," and then if someone says this and that, we're not willing to, on my side as well, be open or take constructive feedback to work as a team to get it to work. It's just that if you don't do it my way, it's not going to work. So that's one thing I found sometimes in working with different people. I think we don't always look to achieve or cooperate enough to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, people are different, and you're gonna meet people who are different from you all the time. I've recently learned this thing called mirrors, and it really helped me understand seeing the world and the people around me. So there are like 7 mirrors, scene mirrors, but basically it's the idea that certain people mirror different parts of yourself. So and you can read more into it. I'm not an expert, but like sometimes when you meet a more challenging person or whatever, and you feel something, that person is showing a part of you that they are like, people around us are all mirrors. So even with the difficult people who are, I'm going to put it in the chat, 7 as seen mirrors. I learned it and I found it really, really helpful for me to navigate like difficult relationships, in the sense of like kind of transforming that, I feel like, did I spell that right? It's like transforming, like some relationships are more difficult than others. Wait, okay, let me put a link for you. And some like, yeah, some relationships are more difficult than others, and most of the time we take that personally because we have an ego, we need to feed that, whatever. But I feel like what really helped me was just understanding that different people show different things about myself, even the people who are not the most like great to work with, and that's great. But yeah, just using that for my advantage to help me be a better person, help me realize something more about myself. Okay, so this is the link. And
Yes, that's one thing. Yeah, one thing I'll notice that's a difference, and this is a general assumption between the East and West, is that people in the West have more of a bigger ego than perhaps people in the East. I think people in the East like to focus more so on the work.
well, it's
Generally.
I just
Generally.
think people in the East just don't show it.
Or they get on with the work, whilst people in the West will be loud about it, and they'll be
Tell you that they are annoyed with you to your face. That's the difference.
that's a lovely bit of truth there.
Yeah, they won't tell you. I mean, it's in my culture not to tell people that I'm annoyed with them at all. Like,
but you have told me to shut up a few times.
Yeah, we don't. And Japanese very good at that. Korean, like really, Asian people are just, because it's in our culture not to do that, right? We don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Yes.
We're more like keep your face, keep your dignity. So we won't tell people that. But behind behind the back, like all the thoughts are like, I really can't stand this person.
But I think in the West we do both of that. We will say it to their face and we'll say it behind their back.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, even within a culture, you have different kinds of people who say different things. But yeah, you might not get that so much, especially in our class, right? We have like Asian people. You probably won't hear it from us because culturally we weren't raised to be so offensive.
Well, I think the one thing is, so from my side, sometimes I'll get very annoyed with someone or different a lot of the times, or this and that, but I won't sort of take it personally. I'll forget about it and then get on with things. I'll realize that I'll get annoyed for it for maybe a couple of hours or something, and then then my mindset is you got to get on with what matters. Like silly disputes aren't important. It's just about doing something that's like it doesn't matter. Just do the job well and we succeed as a team and do well. All this sort of bickering about this and that doesn't really matter. It's not important.
That's good, Marvin. That's good. It's a good mindset. Not everyone's like that.
Because it's a bit silly. Like if someone if someone I don't know, they've said something that's offended you in the past, and then you still bear it, and they've forgotten about it, and you've forgotten about it, and someone's still offended by a chat, and then you have to work on something, it's going to get in the way of it, and then you're going to make the situation worse, and then it goes down. But there are people that I don't like, and there's people that don't like me. But I think what I do now is that one thing that I've learned from the outbreak is that I decide what I'm going to let near me. And some people won't like it or this and that, but I decide what I let near me now. I'm not going to just...
Yeah, I think this outbreak has helped us all also reflect. I also feel like I'm learning. I didn't learn about mirrors until this outbreak, and someone taught me that, and that really helped me also. And all these are tools, right? And it's just learning different things that help us and grow, and then we can focus on our work and what we want to do. And
one thing I tend to struggle with, and this is a big thing that I struggle with people that I'm intimidated by, like people that are higher up than me or that I look up to. I don't know what to say with them. Like with Philippe and some people that are famous, whenever I'm around them, I either act rude because I don't know what to say or do, or I'm just nervous around them and say nothing. There's no sort of charm or anything like that. As soon as I'm around them, it's boom.
I don't have any advice because I also struggle with that. Just be yourself. I know, literally that's the worst thing to say, but I think if you can just try to be yourself, it will be more helpful for mankind.
I think I do agree with what you're saying about be yourself and be nice in that, but I've had many situations in the past where I'll be open, honest, and nice, and people take advantage of that. So if you have a good idea, or I think, oh, let's work on this together, we could do something big. The other person will think you're trying to take an easy route out and try and steal it, or they'll try and sort of backstab me because they think it will help them. There is being like that, like someone's saying that if you're nice and you're open, you're honest, and it will attract the right sort of people to you. Yes, that is true, but you also got to be cautious too, because not everyone has good intentions. And I think one thing I do in the past, and will probably still do now and again now as well, is I'll be a bit too open, too much to maybe the wrong people occasionally. And I think what we all should do is we should be reserved and take our time to get to know someone before we sort being open. People should earn the trust over time and show that they're worth trusting.
I guess so, but I also think
security.
There is nothing wrong with being open and honest, and as long as you draw your boundaries and learn how to say no.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I think that's important as well, but I think it takes time to. I think your intuition is very important, and knowing how to build that and sense things is super. It will help a lot in these situations.
Yes. And one of the things that what has been a moment during your time as being a creator and a businesswoman as well, what has been a moment where what have been two eureka moments, and what have been two moments that were hard but are absolutely hilarious when you think back on them?
Two eureka moments. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I can't really think. I guess whenever I do a very successful project, I have a eureka moment where I go like, yes, it's possible. We have to work hard. I did it. Yeah, so that's one. And I think the second one was finding the right people. I took a while to find a good team, and not saying that my team who worked for me before were not good. It was just finding the right mix of people for the right project. I took a while to get really good at. Also, I think hiring people who the work is aligned with them is super important. And I've had people who came into my company and left and do other jobs, but in that time they were aligned with the work. And when they left, I was like, oh, did I hire the wrong person? And then I realized that everyone's alignment changes, and at that time they were the best people to help me with what I needed to do. And then as we move, different people come in. So I think getting a sense, I love meeting people, and I love like working with different people, and the more people I work with, I get just really energized, like especially with new projects and new clients. Like I have a new project now with this company that I'm making online clown content for them, and the producers, I've never actually worked one-on-one with them before. I've heard of them, they know me, and I love working with them because they're like so good at like letting you do whatever you want, and also like trusting you with the content and giving you feedback and having conversation. Three pumpkins, throwing a shout out to you. So no, I really, and I love it. And the more I attract different people, I just that's a eureka moment for me. And it comes from here, right? This place of staying with my intention. I want to do more creative work. I really will want to like, see, help me, like see who will be able to join me. And true enough, those were good moments. Hard moments. I got bullied a lot when I was younger, like in the, not as a child, but yeah, as a child too. But I got bullied when I started doing my business. Like in the first second year, I got bullied a lot. Like literally 2018 was the year I met a lot of people who like would step on me and bully me, and I had no sense of boundaries, and it was really the worst year. But I that was really hard. I really wanted to give up. But looking back, I'm glad I went through it once. I never want to go through that again. And I'm very damn like um I'm damn like conscious about who I work with now. Now I'm like super extra because I don't want to go through that again. Because I was working with clients that really bully me, called me names, really hard to work with, gave me a lot of anxiety attack. I saw so much of their egos and how horrible human beings they were,
Yes.
and I was just like, and I was just working with them. I just didn't know how to step away. I was so scared to do that. And I think about it now, and I think it's because I had a mindset in my mind where maybe I didn't think I was good enough, or subconsciously like to attract better clients or whatever, or I was trying too hard. I don't know. But now my mindset has changed greatly, and now I know how to say no. And actually saying no and saying I don't want this is one of the most difficult things for me, because I'm not used to that. Not in my personality, I like to be nice to people. I'm not nasty, right? But I have to be I have to be now, because sometimes you have to draw your boundaries. And it really took me like that time. And I mean, I'm sure I'll meet like shitty people because they're all over the world, but I met really good people, and that's what I'm
Yes.
interested in. Attract the good ones, and the shitty people can continue like doing them whatever they're doing.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? It's a very yeah. It's just the world we live in, and yeah, it's. Well, I mean, in some ways, it's been good though. Maybe you wouldn't be in the position you are because maybe they give you a bit of motivation. The bad experiences, if you don't have any bad experiences, then sometimes you won't have the drive there. So like my dad says, even if something bad happens, don't always look at it as bad, because if a bad situation happens, you can learn from it. Oh, I didn't, what's it called, get the girl I wanted. And maybe you think, oh, maybe next time I won't do this, or next time I won't do that, or I didn't get the deal I wanted. Oh, I didn't need to do this and that. and then you go, right, I don't want that to happen again, so I'm going to do this and that, and then, so I mean, maybe it's helped you in the long run though.
Yeah, and I only recently learned, I'm seeing a mentor coach lady now, and she really helped me see that sometimes we have traumas from relationships, not romantic, but even business wise. So we just do a blanket statement of, I won't work with these kinds of people anymore, or I won't work with this like group, and then you start to maybe miss opportunities that you might get from other organizations within the blanket of like, for example, like a charity, like I hate working with charity, then you might like miss the chance to work with another charity that is really nice, you know. And so I realized that I had a lot of traumas with the people that bullied me, and then I started to say no, and I had this like sort of thing where I was like, I'm not gonna work with all these people, and then the options became limited. So I had to really, and I'm still doing that, which is working on reprogramming my mind, where I teach a class where, you know, before that I was maybe like scared to do it because someone said something about me, or they were bullying me, and then I didn't want to do this anymore. And now I'm just doing that so that I don't feel so like, ugh, and trust that I can say no and I can walk away from something that is bad.
So, and this is something that I think we both share, and I think one thing that I've found difficult is knowing how to balance friendships or relationships with well, your vision and your dream, and that's because that can be quite difficult. I've lost quite a few friends in it as well, I think, and then there's also been a few instances where I thought people were my friends, but they weren't, and also there's sometimes I'm not too sure how to deal with a relationship because people want to talk and they want to do this and that, but you're like, if I spend too long talking, I'm not going to get this done or that done, and then it's because I can see where things are going to go. I don't mind spending time chatting with people, and I like being friendly, but you can't let it get in the way of getting things done. Otherwise, you're not going to do anything with your life.
Yeah. I mean, my trick to that, which is especially with people who talk a lot and don't get things done and want to collab, lots of people come to me for that, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm open. I'm a very open person. Sure, let's do it. But I always do my end of the work first, where I go, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then the ball's in your court. If you don't get it done, I see you flaky, like, okay, then I'm not gonna pursue it. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. And I have a lot of experience of that, but that's how like projects drop off, and I'm watching, you see, because I'm like, if I see this person's not doing her end of the work or not setting up the meeting, I'm not gonna get angry. I'm just like, okay, so this is a test, so obviously you failed it, and I know I did my part, and I'm super on the ball, super like following my schedule and whatever, and then I just kind of leave it as that.
Yeah, I think one thing that's also come to my mind, also I made a lot of friends during lockdown as well, like 3 or 4, like some people I've become quite close with because of it, and they're in different parts of the globe. And one thing I've also as well, do you like Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant, he passed away, right?
Yeah, because
I'm not really not that I'm not a fan, because I've heard his podcast on Louis House, and I've heard all about him, but I don't like follow basketball, so my knowledge of him is very limited.
I don't follow basketball either, but I follow him and Michael Jordan. He said when you're really committed to a goal, like friends and family know what you're like. They know you're committed to the goal, so they won't be sort of offended by it as well, because that's what you are and that's what you have to do. And that's what that sort of made me realize that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the friends I have now are, I mean, I have all sorts of friends, but the friends that are close to me are people who know what I want in my life, and I support them as much as they support me. Like, and that's like, it's a both way thing. Yeah, like I have I won't say like he's a friend, but he's also like my intern. He became my associate, and you know, I'm like, if he's in school, so I'm like, yeah, if you need to go to school, you know, I'm here, like if you need me. And he knows that oh, I'm taking a different direction with a certain project or company, he goes, yeah, I'm here if you need me. And having people like that is so important, and it takes time to find them. But like, you know, you're not looking for 100 people. Like, you just need like a few good people, and that's it, right?
One thing I find quite funny about one thing I wish wasn't prevalent with a lot of people that I know, and this is true as well. We all get jealous a little bit to a certain extent, but from my side, I absolutely love it when someone works their butt off, gets their goals, very successful, very creative. I love it. I see it as a sign of inspiration. Just shows that I can do it as well. I get maybe -1% jealous, but most of my mindset is thinking they can do it, I can do it, and I can learn from you. And thank you for showing me that that can be done. And if I like being around people that are working, that are smarter, work harder than me, or I like being around people that are also working hard like me, or if they're not, I like to see a good attitude, and I like to help people with a good attitude, and things are right. I don't like the type of person I don't like is someone that tries to be clever and sneaky and wants to get things the easy way off you. That I don't like. That I got no time for. Like if you're talking about this and that, and they start trying to listen in, or they're trying to get someone else to do everything for them. That I don't like. But if someone shows a bit of an interest and they work hard and they're nice and they seem like got right goals and right attitude to things, I don't mind helping you out.
Yeah, as it should be.
It's not like that, but yes, that's what I yeah. One thing is people get jealous all the time. They get really toxic and bad about it, and that's something I wish wouldn't happen. But it's just I see that all around all the time. Like people complain about celebrities, or they're saying about this and that, and that time could have been spent doing work, or you could learn from them, or you like, oh, this person's doing well. They're such an arse. Or this, look, they're doing well. They show you can do it too. You can learn from them. Don't hate. That time could be spent doing something else. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask as well. I know that you're tight for time. How long have you got left? Because I'll ask 2 more questions, I think, and then.
That's really good. Sorry, I'm hearing music, but like, I'm like, where does it come from? Is it you?
No, it's my dad's ringtone, and he's upstairs.
Okay. Yes. I mean, with the jealous thing, I think just being clear. I understand that thing, and now I've come to a point in my life I don't really give a shit about these people, and I remove myself from situations like that. So my whole environment doesn't consist of people like that, and I don't put myself in situations like that. If I am confronted with it, I remove myself from it, but it's not part of my life anymore. And it's done a great deal of work. Like even like, you know, on your social media, if there are people that cause you to even have these thoughts, I just kind of unfollow them. So that I create my life, right? I am my own creator, my own like yeah, and you know, I try as much as possible to make my environment safe and positive, and it's done a great deal of difference with my mindset. It's a lot about thinking is subconscious, and you know, you never know what is feeding you negatively and you didn't even know it was there in your life.
Yeah, that's what I find quite an interesting thing. But it's that's what I've learned during the lockdown. When I say what's it called, choosing what you let around you, because it is very important, and yeah, it's just better for you. And it's there's two other questions that I like to always ask at the podcast, and this is something that I've learned from a lot of other podcasters, and I think it's a great thing. You should find out about people. And I think 2 questions I want to ask you. What is a quote that you'd like to live your life by?
I have a list of quotes on my wall, but I can't remember right now. I think, let me just Google it. I remember something. Oh yes, this is for my work, and I wrote it down from this woman called Dr. Terrari trend, and I was listening to a podcast, and it was at a time when I was kind of figuring out my business. But she said your dreams in life will have deeper meaning when they're tied to the greater good.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, greater good doesn't mean like just doing, charity, but it also means like living your best self and your best life. So I like that quote a lot.
And impacting others.
Yeah, and impacting others.
And I think we've covered it already in the podcast, but what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, don't be so stupid and naive, Shanae. That girl was, I was very naive. I thought people are always nice. I thought, I didn't realize how much grit you need to be in this industry, in this world sometimes. I call it grit because you need to work really hard. And now I've opened my eyes and I see everything. I see the good, the bad, and now I see that I can exist in whatever way I want to exist in. And to be honest, I didn't know that you have so much power with your thoughts and your choices, because I live in a city, to be honest, like it's very controlling, and we are not taught that we have so much free will in our lives and we can do whatever we want, really. But it's this fear that makes us just follow things, fear to lose or whatever. And now I've learned that, yeah, I have complete free will and I can choose how my life wants to be. And like when bad things happen, I can choose how I want to react to it instead of letting it consume me, which it did for a very long time, where I didn't have the tools to react. And now I see everything, and I'm excited to just keep living my life and growing, and having those tools and building my own life of how I want it to be, like a Sims video game.
And oh, that's all very interesting. No, that's, did you say like a Sims video game?
Yeah.
Which version?
I haven't played Sims in a while. Sims 4 was the last one I played.
Yeah, that is the conclusion of the podcast. It's yeah, it's been a very long time since we last spoke, and it's yeah, it's a shame. But I mean, the world seems to be getting better there in certain parts. I mean, America and Brazil, the virus is woof, but I mean, other parts of the world, at least the virus is recovering, and we will, as you say in your Arts Tropical, we will be through this. Like, that's the message that every artist in those videos said. Don't be too hard on yourself and go through it. And I think we will be. I mean, things may be hard now, but one thing is everyone's going to appreciate things when they're better.
For sure, yeah, we'll be doing that. And I think this is a good time to gather all your tools and to grow, so that when the world opens, you can just just start working and doing a lot of work.
Yeah, you can hit it.
Okay.
All no,
right.
But it's been good speaking to you. Yeah.
I will hopefully see you around.
Yeah.
Keep working and doing your amazing things. I'm excited for your business, excited for your whatever ideas you have. Just bring it to life,
Me too. And mate, could you send me like your social media handles, like some stuff that you want to, what's it called, let people know of, and I'll put it in the description when I'm promoting the podcast. And
coming out.
What was that?
When is the podcast coming out?
Okay, I'll probably put it around, so we're in mid-July now, probably in early August.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, that's well. I want to say yeah, just let me know about that, and yeah, just let me know about the dancing thing. I'll have a look into it. It looks interesting.
What dancing thing?
You're doing the dancing lessons. I would like to give
Oh
one a
yeah.
go.
Yeah, I don't know if you can make the time zones, but yeah, I will let you know. Because the time zones may not be great for you. I think it's like morning. What time do you wake up?
Normally, it varies. So today I woke up at around 6ish, and then sometimes I wake up at 3 or 4, and then sometimes I wake up at 8.
Oh, okay. Wow. 6 a.m.
Yeah,
Why?
there's a lot to do.
Okay.
Even with myself not working at the moment, there's lots of things to prepare for. So yeah,
Love you, Marvin.
yeah, I
Yeah,
absolutely love you. You know that. You're
yeah.
very. You don't
I'm so
know.
cool, and you have a good producer mind.